Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. In one Satsang recently we mentioned that Guruji has a Satsang where he says, you are Atma, not Batman or something like that. So after the broadcast got over, we were sharing a bit about this. The person actually to you is like what Clark Kent is to Superman. Everyone is familiar with this? Pop culture? You don't know? I'll share a bit more. What is Clark Kent to Superman? Is it possible for Superman to play as if he is Clark Kent unless he has some notions of being a journalist, of covering certain topics in journalism, of loving Lois Lane? All the notions have to be there for him to play the identity of Clark Kent. I know it sounds a bit funny what I'm saying. There is something in this. Because you might feel that you have to get some special things and then you will be that supreme being. But that is not the story of Superman, that is the story of Batman. He needs the gadgets and the mask and all of these to play as if he is a special being called Batman. You are naturally the supreme being itself, wearing the mask of identity, wearing the mask of individuality. Now, if this one, Clark Kent, he came to satsang with you. Suppose all the great things which you want happen, and you are there sharing satsang now. And he comes to this satsang with you. And he's suffering from a lot of Clark Kent problems. What will be your advice to him? You are not him. But I have these thoughts. Say I'm Clark Kent. I have these Clark Kent thoughts. I feel like I have Clark Kent feelings. And my boss shouts at me, I feel hurt. So what are you going to say? You're going to say without any notion about yourself, what is naturally present? The identity cannot survive even one moment. I know as I've been saying this, many of you have been wondering, saying, but yeah, I've struggled with this identity for so long. So we can say that it does not even survive one moment without being nourished by our belief in the identity. It is all gone. You naturally are the most supreme being. The only one, in fact, already is you. And as you look at this world without any concept of it, without any judgment or interpretation of it, you are seeing that the world exists only in your light. You are seeing it, but you are not saying it yet. So satsang is an invitation for you to meet yourself in this most natural of ways. You are this already. There is no doubt about this. You don't have to become it. The light of the universe, enlightenment, which you are looking for, is your natural state. Only you have covered it with Clark Kent glasses. The mask of the individual, the mask of the persona, has no real, tangible quality about it. Just a bundle of beliefs. Only a set of notions. To say something or to pose as if you are a person takes you a moment to refer to yourself as if you are some concept, some object. But if you don't have this moment to think about it, what are you naturally now? Call me, call me when mama comes. She'll go then.
And then I sent it to myself through mail, but then she saw it. My mail goes to her. And like 15 people. School. And like I posted on my story, send messages like if you know my mom, and like 15 people said. So I posted on Instagram. You got talent show with classes. Or bugging.
Attention numbers. When the fan is on, it is too hot, too noisy for everyone.
No,
can you try?
Maybe ask them.
Yeah, I'll ask. Is this too noisy for all of you? The fan? Or it's manageable? It's not. So if I don't give you the time to think about it, to refer to any notion about yourself, do you vanish? Do you disappear? Do you cease existing? You still are, isn't it? This notionless existence is much more super than Superman. Now, this is contrary to most of what we have learned in our life. Mostly, what we have learned is that if you know something, if you learn something, if you pick up the best concept, then you will get a better understanding and you will become something better. I am introducing you to that which is just naturally present. See? Now, what does the mind say? But what is naturally present? What's the big deal in that? Is this the self that I have been looking for all this time? And I want to tell you that it is a very big deal. Because this self that you will find is not an object in time and space. It has no location, it has no duration. It is untouched by all appearances in time and space. So the suffering because of false attachments, the notions of me and mine, they lose their meaning. As you are discovering your non-objective reality. And that is why it is a big deal. It is much more a big deal than a beggar discovering that he was actually sitting on the king's treasure all his life. It's much bigger than that. So we have been dealing in notions of our limitation which are so tiny compared to your limitless reality, boundless reality. And this is why the sage Ashtavakra reminded us and said, you are that boundless ocean in which the arcs of the universe come and go, but you remain untouched. Now, did he say you will become that? He said you are. And he was not just speaking to Janaka, he was speaking to all of us. So when I ask you in Satsang to show me your boundary, those who are new to Satsang often show me the body. But very quickly as you look, you find that the body is just another set of perceptions happening in the space of my being, in my consciousness, on my screen, in my light. All this play of appearances is happening. All these sensations already you can see are contained within you. You are not contained within them. And as soon as you start to see this, the concept of limitation starts to fade away. Now it doesn't seem so far out what Ashtavakra said. Then also I invite you to look at your being, your existence, and investigate whether that is an object in time. All objects change with time. It could seem like a short time or a very long time, but all objects are subject to time. Is your existence changing? Is your Atma changing? The sense I am, is it changing? Does it have more or less? Does it have quantity or quality? And it is not timeless because it is very old. It's another mistaken notion. It is timeless because it is beyond the functioning of time. Time functions in its light. Atma doesn't function in time. Often I have said that if you have this much of openness to come to satsang with this much openness, that it is a possibility that I am not an object. It is a possibility, I am open to the possibility that I am not an object. This much is enough for me. But if everything you want is with the object as the basis, the body, mind as the basis, then what I'm sharing can seem like a bit of a struggle. Many times some of us have sat in inquiry together and you have come to the recognition that I am this awareness. But the mind makes even that an experience for a me. So next day when you come, you say, yes, Father, I saw to awareness nothing is happening. Now can you help me with the me? But you are that, and that alone in reality. All the rest is just your shadow. Just a fleeting appearance in yourself. It comes and goes. And that is why it is a big deal. See, this is the beauty of satsang. That your greatest discovery will be your simplest one. Your greatest discovery will be your simplest one. What is the simplest thing you can say about yourself? That unchanging truth. It's so simple, it's so regular, it's so available. is so accessible, and yet it is the most beautiful insight that you are having about yourself. But if we continue to measure it in worldly terms, with a weighing scale, with phenomenal benefits, I see I am the self just naturally present. So, how many kilograms of bliss did I get because of that? Did my body pain go away? Did my relationships get better? Did the mind change its quality of thoughts? But this is not the measure. We said that the universe can function as the universe is functioning. Effortlessly, it is happening anyway. But you have found something which is beyond this universe. Because that which is beyond time and space is not contained in this phenomenal realm. So first we took a set of sensations amongst the many millions that we are experiencing. And we said only this set of sensations is me. This appearance of these hands, these are mine. This sensation of the body which seems so intimate, this one is mine. We have been taught how to do this. This was not naturally present. A baby does not have a notion of me. For him, the appearance of the hand and the appearance of a toy is same. And that baby was taught, this is your hand, this is you, this is your head. So we learned how to separate some set of sensations and call that a me. And the minute this me started to get relief, everything else became the other. We said, this is me, and because I'm so limited now, I need other objects to make myself more complete. There's an inherent sense of incompletion in the identity, you see. All of us have noticed it. That's why we're looking for that eternal contentment, trying to fill the belly of this me, which is never satisfied. So then if I had this object, if I had the best partner, if I had so much money, then this limited one will be happy. And we tried that. So desire came. Because I consider myself limited, then I desire other objects. And if I desire other objects, then I have to come up with a plan. What do I have to do to get them? So doership came. So that's how the 3D ego got formed. Duality, me and other, desire, and doership. this separation that never happened. So you come to satsang and I say, why you distinguish between one sensation and another sensation and call only some of them me and call the other, all these others as others? Either you call everything as me or nothing as me. Then some of you say, okay, everything is I. I am all there is. All this phenomenal appearance is I. Then I say, but still you're being unfair. Why you leave the perceiver out of this? That perceiver is not phenomenal. Include that also. Then you see that, this one is unchanging. Everything else might come and go. But this is the immaculate, unborn reality. Then you might report that, oh, in just this simple discovery, I found my greater reality. I used to consider myself such a tiny object. Then I saw that I am all objects. But now I see that I am something which is way beyond even that. Beyond this objective Leela, beyond this play. How will all of this become apparent? In your motionlessness. It already is apparent. And motionlessness is your natural state. It is here now. You exist effortlessly. This existence is the existence of God, is the presence of God. You have called it Clark Kent. So for a while, don't call it anything at all and see what happens. If consciousness or God doesn't seem natural yet, just remain in the I don't know. This is all that is happening in Satsang. And as I say this, I remember that I'm saying this every day for different things. It's fine. I'm sure it's the same thing. It's just different expressions of the same thing. Anil says, beloved father was having extreme body sensations in the body, panicky, then mind and body got paralyzed. Attention gets locked to the body. Then what to do? As ground or support is not found. Please guide. Yes. All of our insights, all that we are finding ourselves to be, not our concepts, not our notions about ourselves. This is the beauty of true insight versus just conceptual understanding. You see? Because all our conceptual understanding betrays us when we feel like we need it the most. You see? It just betrays us. We go to the mind and say, what's the answer? What's the solution? It doesn't have, it's all muddled up. You see? But our true insight never leaves us. Even if attention is locked, what is aware of this attention? Is that locked? Is that limited? Is that dented or scratched by whatever appearance there might be? Is your presence Different in quality now is your existence, not present, because this experience might be there. No, it can only be that your presence, it continues to be the light of even this experience. Even this panic, even this locking up of the attention, even this mind and body being in complete attack can only happen because you exist and your existence is untouched by it. And for a while, it can seem like I have to hold on to this existence with all that I have got, because that is the only thing stable in my life. Everything else is changing, everything else is coming and going. Only the I am, my very existence, that which I've told you, I've also called my father's feet. You can only hold on to this. Then you will see that no experience can overpower this. Nothing is greater than your existence. So, in response to what to do, just hold Guruji in your heart, hold His divine presence, which is your very presence. It has not deserted you. Like Jesus on the cross, I was saying the other day, worst things imaginable in this human existence were happening to him. See, greatest friend had betrayed him. His body was experiencing the most pain. You see? And in that moment, the same question came. Father, have you forsaken me? But only for a moment. And then quickly that became a prayer for forgiveness. And said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. It can seem like in the world that when these experiences happen, we are left without any where to turn to. But the divine presence of the Sadguru is always available to us. It is more intimate than any other experience that you could be having. So, are we going to be more super than Superman, or are we going to pick up the glasses of Clark Kent? And the glasses of Clark Kent are only your next notion, the next concept about yourself. That is the mask. And usually after satsang, the notion will come. Usually with starting with, but, but Shri Tunga is here. She asks, Namaste Anantaji, surrendering, the surrender is nothing but diffusing attention and presence. Yes. It's a beautiful way to say it. It's a beautiful way to say it because it's like so much attention has been invested in this objective realm. What's going to happen to this? What's going to happen to me? What about all of this? And as we let go of all things, we find that attention naturally rests in your presence, in your being. And that is why I have said that actually surrender and inquiry are the same. See, the so-called two paths which Bhagavan used to advise us on actually are the same. Because both are just dropping of the something notion and remaining with I am. You see, when the notion is I am something, then as we surrender all of this something, this I am remains. And as we inquire into the validity of the something, who is this something for? We find that there is nobody like that, only I am remains. So whether it is just the invitation, is it, to allow all visitors to come and go, don't serve them tea, as the Zen masters used to say, or whether the invitation is to surrender or to inquire, all of it is meant for us to come to this motionless presence. So, one thing that I also want to add to that is that you don't have to be very forceful with your attention. Attention will naturally rest in your being in a very open, global, universal way, as it is getting divested from limited concepts about yourself. As belief in the false is being dropped, attention also naturally comes to rest in the spaciousness of your being, not in the limited aspects of your being. That is why Bhagavan said to come to true knowledge is just the dropping of the false. Yes. So presence includes body sensation as well, yes. It includes all sensations and perceptions. But it is not contained by any of them. It contains all, but it is uncontained. You see, just like Shankara said, that the space in the pot and the space outside the pot are both just space. It is the appearance of the pot which comes and goes. So your being includes all things, whether objective appearances are there or not. And as you start to recognize your unlimitedness, then you will not shy away from any sensations. You will not try to run from anything that is appearing. Your body might seem to be running like the Shankara story. But you are so resting in your being that even when the body is running, It doesn't seem like you are moving. Okay, maybe we can close again with the Shankara story. Before that, there's a question. Vidya says, you had remarked once that there is only one thought in any instant of time. Not clear to me. Could you please elaborate on that? Yes. I've said often that the mouth of this mind is also like this physical mouth. You see? It could seem to be speaking very fast, but it speaks only one thing at a time. You can feel like, oh, my mind is full of so much. But if I tell you, look what is there now, for a while you go quiet. And you say, oh, now that I'm looking, nothing is there. And then something will come. But as it comes, you will find that it's only speaking one voice. It could be fast, so it can feel like it's saying a lot. It's never speaking two things at the same time because we don't have that kind of attention to spare. Our attention is not capable of handling two messages at the same time. In fact, it will seem very distracting. That's why satsang sometimes can be very clear when attention is in the words of the master. And sometimes it's very seemingly distracted because the mind is also trying to contribute at the same time. We don't have the attention for two messages at the same time. This is what I mean. That in this moment of time, at best, you will be able to introduce one thought which the mind is saying now. But usually when you look, even that will not be there. Shankara is this, and Shankara is the great Adi Shankaracharya, who is the one responsible for bringing this entire teaching of Advaita Vedanta to light. Before that, it was very obscure. Shankara was one who was born with a missionary zeal for spreading this knowledge all over the country. And he is very deservedly look at that message a bit, but deservedly well revered in the country. So he has this story about, there is a story about him which explains a bit about this level confusion which I talk about. So one time, Shankara was sitting and there were a few people sitting around him. They were in the middle of a forest. So he was sharing that how this entire world is just a changing appearance and nothing in it is real. All of it is just illusion, lila, maya, mithya, all these various Sanskrit terms. Then tiger comes. Tiger comes and Shankara is the first to run. So Shankara runs and he climbs a tree. And the others also run behind him and they find some hiding places. And then the tiger looks around and is there for a bit. And then after a while it goes away. And Shankara comes down. Everybody else also comes down. And they gather around him. And he notices that they are laughing at him. They're snickering. You got caught. You got found out. So he said, what's happening? Why are you saying that? He said, you were just saying that all of this world appearance is a myth, is illusion. And when the lion came, when the tiger came, you were the first to run. And there are two endings to this story. The more funny one, but I don't feel it is Shankara, is where Shankara says, I knew the tiger is a myth, but the tiger doesn't know that yet. But the better end and not so humorous one is Shankara saying, but my running also is part of the appearance, which is a myth. Whatever your experience might be, even if it is the most sublime, see what is aware of even of that. And just when I say see what is aware of that, ask yourself this question: what is aware of even this? Or just ask yourself, who am I? And then leave the question unmolested with any answer. Don't have to trouble it with anything at all. It is potent enough to direct your attention on its own, in its own way. It doesn't need any other further direction. That is the beauty of the inquiry. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki
Jai. Sadguru Shri Ananda Ji ki Jai.